If you guys didn't know already, I love dividends. I love stocks that pay out dividends every single year. And in today's video, I'm going to go over stocks that have been raising their dividends for the last 25 years. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Bruce Wang. I'm a real estate investor, dividend investor. If you haven't followed me yet on Instagram, go follow me right now. I post up there every single day now, and specifically I've been posting a lot about my real estate and my renovation for my property right now. But in today's video, we're going to take a look at my M1 Finance portfolio. I use this brokerage to buy stocks, specifically dividend paying stocks. I have stocks that are paying me monthly dividends, and mostly stocks usually pay dividends every single quarter. So I get asked a lot about what type of stocks that I should be buying, what type of stocks that pay really good dividends. And in today's video, I'm going to go over stocks that have been increasing their dividends for the last 25 years. You've heard me correct. 25 years. There are actually 57 different stocks, different companies that have been doing this. And if you guys didn't know already, these are called the Dividend Aristocrats. So let's jump right into the portfolio to see how I've been doing over the past weeks or so, and then we can dig a little deeper into the Dividend Aristocrats. So this is the Wang Gang portfolio. I've been investing with them since March. Whenever I'm trying a new platform, I don't like to just throw in all my money all at one time, just because I like to explore the platform, see if it's safe or not safe to invest in. But after being invested for the last 3 months or so, I found that M1 Finance is a really great investment tool for me, and I'll be sticking with them for the foreseeable future. And actually, I'm raising my deposits into this company now. For the last 3 months, I've been depositing $100 every single week to test it out. But now I want to see more gains in the portfolio, and the only way to do that is for me to deposit even more money into my investments. So right now I'm investing $200 every single week. That'll be $800 every single month. And if my calculations are right, that's going to be about $10,000 invested for one entire year. So right now the portfolio is worth $1,530. Let's take a look at the values here. I've essentially deposited since March 13th, $1,510, and the market gains is just under $20. So when it comes to my financial journey, what I realized a major key is that when I invested small amounts, I don't see that much gain. It's actually, the gains are very, very small. But as I increase my investments and I increase the time period that I'm invested in, I get to see a lot more gains when it comes to dividends, when it comes to capital gains and all that. So don't be discouraged if you just started investing in the stock market and you're actually losing money. When it comes to my total returns, I've been invested since March 13, and I have seen a return of 4.27%, which is not that bad. A 4.2% gain is actually pretty good when you compare it to a savings account from one of these big banks in America. Interest rates for savings account related savings vehicles vary widely from as low as 0.01% annual year percentage to 6.17. I have never seen an annual year percentage of 6.17, but mine's is closer to 0.03, I believe. So for my savings account, I keep only enough for my emergency fund, and everything else is going into my investments because it doesn't make sense to only make 0.03 or 0.01% in a savings account. If you want to take a deeper dive into any one of my stocks, go jump into the description and you can find it there. I share my portfolio, I share everything. If you want to sign up for M1 Finance, you can sign up there as well. So taking a deeper dive into my portfolio, I'm holding now 55 different stocks and ETFs. So when it comes to the dividend yield, it is around 4%. So let's say if I invested $10,000 into this portfolio, and 1 year from now, I would essentially have $400 in dividends. And with all my dividends that I receive, I reinvest that into the portfolio for a compounding effect to hopefully grow this portfolio faster and faster. I think that is enough overkill for this portfolio. Leave me a like if you've enjoyed that little update, and we can start talking about the Dividend Aristocrats. So I did about 10 minutes of very difficult, hard labor, and I created this pie for you guys. These are the Dividend Aristocrats for 2019. There are 57 holdings in this one pie, and this is all coming from the Wikipedia page, where I will show you right now. This is the S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats. Basically, I did all this research and I took all of these stocks and put them in an M1 finance portfolio for you. So you guys don't have to do that hard work. And I'll be sharing this link in the description down below if you guys want to take a look at any of these companies. So just going down the list, you can see that there are probably a lot of companies that you don't know, and there'll be a few that you might know. Like for example, I know Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, and like Sherwin-Williams Company. I have no idea what that is. Cisco Corporation is I've heard of Cisco Corporation as well in the past. Walmart, that is a well-known company as well. AT&T, I would say I'm heavily invested in AT&T, over $1,000 invested at least at the moment. Clorox Company. So going down the list, you will know a lot of these companies: McDonald's, Target, and this is one of Warren Buffett's very famous sayings: invest in companies that you know. So if you're going to McDonald's every day, if you're going to Target every day, you're shopping there on a weekly basis or monthly basis or something in that range, and you're seeing that these companies are doing well, why not invest in these companies? You're going there, you're a customer, and if you actually like the company and you think that they're doing well, why wouldn't you invest in them? So I think this is a great start for a list of companies that you guys might want to start looking at. You can go through this list and start picking out some of the stocks that you know and start collecting dividends after you invest in them. Or what you can do, you can invest in all of them all at the same time, which is something that I will kind of go over later on in this video. So you might be wondering why you would want to invest in some of these companies. I have a few good reasons and a few reasons you might not want to invest in these companies. So there are only 57 Dividend Aristocrats out there. This is a very exclusive group to even join. You would need to be in the stock market for 25 years and raise your dividend every single year. So these companies are mature. These companies have a lot of foresight when it comes to the vision of the company to be able to raise your dividends every single year. And these companies are also looking out for their shareholders. If you really think about it, they want to give back to the people investing into their companies. So just to clarify the Dividend Aristocrat a little bit further, this is coming from the Wikipedia page. A stock must have increased their dividend payouts for a minimum of 25 consecutive years or more, must currently be part of the S&P 500 index, and must have a minimum market capitalization of $3 billion. Should a company reduce their dividends or be dropped from the S&P 500 index, the holding is automatically dropped from the Dividend Aristocrat list as well. And the one thing that stands out from the Dividend Aristocrats is that there is a relatively small amount of tech stocks among the list. So this list is always going to change year by year. Not every company can do something as difficult as raise their dividends every single year. So that leads me into the next ETF that I want to talk about. This is the ProShares S&P 500 Dividends Aristocrats. I'm not sure if I made a video on this ETF yet or not, because I made over 100 videos. It's crazy. This stock is basically tracking the Dividend Aristocrats, all equally weighted. According to this, the index contains a minimum of 40 stocks which are equally weighted, and no single sector is allowed to comprise of more than 30% of the index weight. So I think on M1 the stats here are a little bit off, but let's see. If you look at the 5-year chart, you can see that it has grown over 51%. Oh man, I wish I started investing here when it was only $46. I would be able to have all this growth here and collect all these dividends throughout the years. Like, that's one thing that I always go back on. I wish I could have invested when I just turned 18, but the thing is, when I was 18, there was no Robinhood. There was only like I think the easiest way for me to get in would probably be like E-Trade or Vanguard or something like that. Like, so a lot of the young people out here in my audience, you guys are pretty lucky because there are a lot of different ways that you can get in for really, really cheap, especially like on Robinhood and M1 Finance. So if I started investing since 2014, I would have seen 51% gain on this one ETF, which is insane. So one thing that really stood out to me with this ETF is that The S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrat has outperformed the S&P 500 with lower volatility since its inception. This one fact is pretty crazy because I'm heavily invested in the S&P 500 as well. I invest in index funds mainly, but I like to, learn how to stock pick just so I can increase my skills and hopefully increase my wallet size and my net worth size. So for this ETF to have a 51% gain in the last 5 years, having it be able to beat the S&P 500 and have less volatility, it's almost like a no-brainer that I need to add this into my portfolio in some way or another. And when it comes to my pie, I love the fact that it's so diversified and I'm able to collect dividends. That's the one thing I don't really like about investing in index funds and in the S&P 500 is that not all the stocks pay dividends. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards putting more money into a portfolio like this. So what I did with some of the Dividend Aristocrats is that I've added some into the basic materials here. These companies are obviously all in the same sector, and I've added all 6 of them into my pie to hopefully collect some very sweet dividends. And as I learn more about different types of stocks and what to invest in, hopefully I can keep adjusting this portfolio to fit my personal investment style. So if you're just beginning your investment journey, try not to overthink it. Just start saving a little bit of money here and there and start looking at some things that you might want to invest in. The Dividend Aristocrats are a good place to start looking at some high quality companies. And if that is too confusing for you, that ETF is also a good choice to look at. And obviously this is all my opinion and not financial advice. So if you are going to look into any of these stocks, please do your own research. And if you want to check out more videos just like this, go check out these older videos here where you guys can even see where I first started out from $0 to $100. And like the video if you haven't liked it already. Subscribe for more content just like this every single week, 3 videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Love you 3000. Bye bye.